Right now on DC News Now at 4.
DC Council voting yet again on the use of extended juvenile curfew zones, the compromises and controversies around this public safety measure.
Rain is on the way. Meteorologist Damon Matson is tracking the timing.
Montgomery County does not oppose data centers, but a council member explains why he wants to slow down the permit process.
And we're stretching your dollar on ways to save at the pump as gas prices continue to rise.
You're watching the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
And thank you for joining us for DC News Now at 4. I'm Mark Hall.
Hey, good afternoon. I'm Annalisa Gale. Right now, a shakeup at the top within DC's police department here. The DC Police Union saying multiple high-ranking officials have been served termination papers in connection with investigations into changing district crime numbers, possibly.
Yeah, the DC Police Department confirming some moves at the top, but not connecting those moves back to the investigation. And DC News Now's Randy Bass is breaking down what we know at this hour, and she's at police headquarters where we're expecting to hear from the chief soon. Randy, what's the latest?
Yes, we're expecting to hear from Police Chief Jeff Carroll in the next 30 minutes or so, and we could see turnover among top brass at the DC Police Department. The union tells us today that it's welcoming the termination of some of these officers at the top of the department, saying it's tied directly to the department's completed internal affairs investigation and to the deliberate manipulation of DC crime data. The union says officers were pressured to downgrade both violent and property crimes, making crime numbers look lower than they really were. These alleged termination proceedings coming after the DOJ and the House Oversight Committees also investigated the department's reporting procedures. Former Chief Pamela Smith resigned last year when those allegations first came to light, with now interim Chief Jeffrey Carroll taking the reins over the last 5 months. DC News Now has confirmed multiple high-ranking officers, including assistant chiefs and commanders, have recently been demoted or placed on administrative leave, though the department won't confirm whether these moves are connected to the crime stats investigation. The union said in a statement, in part, "We warned that this toxic culture of coercion, fear, and corruption left thousands of cases uninvestigated, denied victims justice, gaslit residents, and endangered public safety. Forensic teams were not dispatched, evidence went uncollected, detectives were never notified, and dangerous criminals walked free." The chair of the DC Council's Public Safety and Justice Committee, Brooke Pinto, responded to the reports today.
Latest reports around some of the termination decisions. Now that Chief Carroll is the chief, we need to make sure that all of those investigations had appropriate consequences for anyone who was misclassifying crimes, and that we have safeguards in place so that this never happens again.
Again, up until this point, the DC Police Department remaining very tight-lipped about some of these moves potentially at the very top of the department. We are heading into this press conference here with the police chief in just a few moments. We'll bring you those details as we learn them. In Northwest DC, I'm Randy Bass, DC News Now.
All right, Randy, thank you. And staying in the district, DC Council preparing to take a second vote on a permanent bill on extended youth curfew zones.
Yeah, that bill gives the police chief the ability to establish limited curfew zones for up to 4 days. And in those areas, young people won't be able to gather in groups of more than 8 after 8 p.m.
DC News Now's Mariel Carbone joined us live at the Wilson Building. And Mariel, Council discussing this as we speak.
Yeah, Mark and Annalisa, they are. You know, this discussion has been going on for more than an hour at this point. We know this topic has been pretty controversial, so much so that Brooke Pinto, the council member behind this, actually pulled her emergency version of the bill today. That won't be up for a vote, so we are simply and specifically talking about the permanent version, which is up for a second and final vote. They've been discussing some compromises to ease some of the concerns of both community members and council members, like I said, for more than an hour now. So here are some of those compromises that they are talking about. One would sunset, or rather put an end to this curfew legislation in 2028. The idea there is to give it an end date so that council has time over the next 2 years to put in other solutions. There is also an amendment that would require youth programming whenever a zone is established. That has moved forward with support. A ban on MPD transporting juveniles to detention centers for a curfew violation. That is also moved forward. Now, at the moment, they are talking about an amendment by Councilmember Parker, which would require at least 4 rec centers to stay open late on Fridays and Saturdays until 11 p.m. in 4 different wards in the city. He says that is a direct response from requests that he heard from young people. So the discussion continues in there. We did talk to Councilmember Brooke Pinto earlier today, just kind of about where her head is at and how she felt about having to pull the emergency version of this. Take a listen to what she said.
I've made clear my position is that this is a limited authority that should absolutely be extended. To me, it's kind of like saying if there's a riot, we should enable and empower our own local police department to be able to respond. Why on earth we wouldn't want to do that in these instances is not something I can understand.
So I am going to head back into the council room. We'll continue listening in on some of the amendments, the compromises, and then that final vote, which we are expecting to happen sometime relatively soon. And we'll bring you the latest on that as soon as we know more here from the Wilson Building. But for now, reporting live from the Wilson Building, I'm Marielle Carbone at DC News Now.
All right, Marielle, thank you. It is day 5, and the man on top of the Frederick Douglass Memorial Bridge is still refusing to come down. Guido Rick Stater says that he's protesting the war with Iran and concerns over artificial intelligence as police continue negotiations below. Well, supporters gathered again today, chanting and cheering him on. Traffic is moving, but pedestrian access remains shut down. Still unclear when this will end.
Well, we're learning more about the man shot after he allegedly pulled a gun and fired at Secret Service officers on the National Mall yesterday afternoon. The Secret Service now identifying him as 45-year-old Michael Marks from Texas, and right now they're looking into his family, friends, associates, and whether he had any intentions to harm the president. He's expected to be charged with assault on a police officer, Secret Service says, and it's also working with the U.S. Attorney's Office on charges. Officials say Marks is in serious but stable condition in a hospital. The young boy who was also injured in that shooting has non-life-threatening injuries meantime.
Well, let's head over to meteorologist Damon Matson with a first look at our forecast.
Yes, I definitely stepped outside to recharge my batteries. That sunshine, beautiful. Felt wonderful out there, Damon.
You didn't go out just once, Annalisa.
I had to step out twice.
I was going to say, was it just twice or did I miss the other ones?
I had to do it for 5 minutes. I was like, wow. And it got warmer around 3, just like right there.
Sure did. And I did not. I should have done that. Honestly, you tried to tell me to. I didn't listen, but I'll be going out here when the workday is over, obviously. But hey, there it is. What a warm up we did experience out there today, folks. And another round of plentiful sunshine, southwesterly winds that have been a bit blustery at times really pushed those temperature readings into the 80s. We're at 85 in DC, and then we do have a few other locations like Waldorf, a little bit more so into the upper 80s. So yeah, yesterday was pleasant enough in the 70s, but today we got that additional 5 to 10 degree boost. And we will hold on to these warmer conditions as we wrap up the day today. Now, there are going to be more clouds rolling into the picture as we wrap up this Tuesday evening. And then by later on tonight, we're expecting the entire sky to cloud over as a front does finally make it to our doorstep. Now, we're not expecting rain during the overnight hours, but it is likely to turn soggy right off the bat on Wednesday. We'll talk about how long that rainfall is expected to last and how much rain we could get out of this. We are still in that ongoing drought, so we could use a good bit of wet weather. We'll have a full look at that forecast coming up here in just a bit.
All right, Damon, thank you. Well, Virginia State Police say they need your help to find a motorcyclist. People injured and even killed. Officials say this is about keeping communities safe and holding people accountable.
DC News Now's Yamari Sase is live at the County Council building in Largo. Yamari, this passed unanimously.
Yeah, that's right. Every council member voted in favor of this bill. And essentially, this really came after two separate incidents where one person was killed, another person was injured during these illegal car rallies. Now, police say they've already dealt with more than 40 of these events. They had to dismantle them with a lot of arrests and also citations given now. But people who do support this bill also say the essentially move for this is really about safety. Now, Prince George's County Council passed a bill targeting illegal car rallies, street takeovers, and high-speed racing, including the people who show up to watch. Now, under the new law, bystanders could face up to 60 days in jail and a fine starting at $1,000. Now, so far this year, police say they've broken up more than 40 events, making 20 arrests, issuing 100 citations, and recovering 16 illegal guns. Now, back in September, a woman was seriously injured during an illegal car meetup. In a statement, the state's attorney's office, which we are waiting currently to hear back from, we did reach out to her for her thoughts about this legislation. But those in favor of this bill says it's really about safety.
Stop doing this in Prince George's County. And if you do, you will be held accountable.
It's not just the racing, it's the culture that is now taking place in it. And of course, our young people are always wanting to be part of a certain culture, and how dangerous this particular culture is to be a part of.
Now, Councilmember Juanica Fisher, who was the sponsor of this bill, says there are legal and permitted events that take place within the county that car enthusiasts can attend rather than attending these illegal street takeovers. Now, in the meantime, once the county executive signs this will go into law 45 days after. For now, reporting in Largo, Maryland, I'm Yamari Sase, DC News Now.
Yeah, Marie, thank you. Well, DC Fire is getting a new canine. Meet Peyton. DC Fire says she is being trained as a live find search and rescue dog. There she will be searching for victims following some structural collapses and other incidents. She is definitely adorable and will be helping out a great deal.